All right, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to talk about Square Enix again. Now, Square Enix, you guys already know I've said this many times. I have a lot of history with Square Enix. I very much love the company and what they were, especially all the way back, from Squaresoft and whatnot. I thoroughly enjoy Square Enix, but unfortunately, Square Enix is one of those companies that drank the Kool-Aid and bought and believed everything they were told about the Western audience, right? About the modern audience. And they decided to make a few really bad business decisions that ended up costing them a lot of money to the point where they're currently seeing a 70% decline in profits.
This is not okay. This needs to stop now. This is cancer.
Yes, ladies and gentlemen, 70% decline in profits. It's absolutely insanity what we are seeing. We have an article here from That Park Place with a headline that reads, after Square Enix announces nearly 70% decline in profits, Mark Kern predicts video game industry bloodbath. So let's get into this article, guys, from That Park Place. But of course, before we do, if you are new here, just consider hitting that subscribe button. I would greatly appreciate it, and like the video to push us out into that YouTube algorithm. Now, you guys already know what the two mega flops were for Square Enix that took this company that was beloved and was making decent money and was making waves. It took this company and completely destroyed it. What are these two games we're talking about? Well, it's FORSPOKEN and Marvel's Avengers, ladies and gentlemen. Yes, FORSPOKEN and Marvel's Avengers. Those two video games completely destroyed Square Enix from the ground up. I cannot believe just how two games can turn the tides against a company like Square Enix. They just are incapable of catching up now, and no matter how much money they make from whatever games they sell, it's still just not enough. Those games are barely making enough money to pay for themselves, let alone pay for these massive flops that they now have in their catalog. It says former World of Warcraft team lead Mark Kern predicts that the video game industry will experience a bloodbath going forward after Square Enix shared that the company experienced nearly a 70% decline in profits and will be strategically moving away from console exclusivity to a multi-platform model. Now, we've been talking about this for a long time, and I see these console gamers out there. They're the certain kind of console gamer out there. Not all you guys, because I love you guys, but there are certain console gamers that are fucking melting down right now on Twitter talking about my exclusives. Why are you porting over games to the PC platform? The PC gamers don't appreciate anything. It's like they're losing their minds completely because they've been licking balls for how many years now? They've been absolutely eating ass and enjoying it like it's a 5-course meal. And now they're realizing that without PC gamers, you really don't got much left. You know what I'm saying? Unfortunately for you guys, you're just not supporting Square Enix enough. And Square Enix realizes that there is a huge market that is untapped potential that will absolutely save the company if they do it right, if they put it on PC. They know this, and now the console gamers are losing it. It says in Square Enix results briefing session for the fiscal year ending in March 31st of 2024, the company reported that its net sales increased from 343 billion yen, or around $2.2 billion, to 356 billion yen, or around $2.3 billion. However, despite the increase in net sales, the company's profitability shrunk from 49.2 billion Japanese yen to only 14.2 billion yen. That's a decline from around 315 million to $90 million, ladies and gentlemen. This company, Square Enix, only had a profit of $90 million. There is no way that is anywhere close to enough to sustain a company like Square Enix. I mean, 315 million is not enough to sustain a company like that. There's no fucking way. There is no way. That is insane, man. Given the disastrous decline in profits, the company announced a new medium-term business plan with a shift to multi-platform strategy. The strategy details that the company will aggressively pursue a multi-platform strategy that includes Nintendo platforms, PlayStation, Xbox, and PCs. Furthermore, the company detailed its plan to build an environment where customers can enjoy our titles in regards to major franchises and AAA titles, including catalog titles. It also added that it hopes to devise a platform strategy for SD titles too that includes not only iOS and Android, but also the possibility of PC launches. The company wants to maximize acquisition of new users when launching a title and that of recurring users after starting management of game operations. So it looks like they want to go across all platforms, right? Not just PC, but all platforms. And I think that it's going to be very good for them to tap into the Nintendo market and the PC market. Those are two massive markets that are untapped. And I think if you do it right, and if you release the right kind of game, I think there's a market for it. I think you'll make a lot of money. And I think this is how they're going to be able to slowly but surely save themselves, because they put themselves in such a crazy fucking hole. I mean, my God, the amount of money they lost in those two games was insane. I know I keep saying it, but it's crazy. It says Kern also shared his predictions in X. He wrote more bloodbath at Microsoft as they faced the music on over $80 billion in acquisitions and 40 studios that failed to grow Game Pass. He continued, expect Xbox executives to retire and get rotated out as disaster snowballs, heads will roll. Now, this is just a thing that happens in business when nobody has an answer as to why you're not making money. Everybody's looking at each other to blame each other, but at the end of the day, the ladder's going to fall at some point and you're going to have to start letting people go. And I think we're at that point now. I think we're at the point, thankfully, where we're going to start probably seeing people get axed from the business. And most of those people are going to be the psychopaths that got us in this predicament to begin with. Next, he detailed everybody going multi-platform. As sales continue to soften, Microsoft will put their games on every platform faster and in greater quantity. Nothing will be sacred to earn back those dollars. Increase microtransactions, especially for Game Pass, Origin, and other such subscription services. EA has already talked about ads, and they'll be turning over every rock looking for dollars, and the squeeze will be hard, Kern predicted. I mean, at this point, again, they thought that they had the market cornered. They thought that when 2020 happened, they thought that everybody and their mother was going to be investing in some form of digital entertainment, especially gaming being one of the biggest mediums. And they thought they can do literally anything they wanted and get away with it. And now, as the years go on, they're starting to realize that that is not the case whatsoever. You're not going to be able to get away with anything that you want. The games that are succeeding for a reason. And that's because they are very good games. They might even be very simplistic games, but it doesn't matter. Like Helldivers 2, for example. As long as you provide a good game, it doesn't really matter what the budget is. People are going to buy it up in droves and support it. So unfortunately for Xbox and in Square Enix in this scenario, it looks like they don't really have that go-to IP. They don't have that go-to game anymore. Final Fantasy used to be it for Square Enix, but unfortunately, they're not really going the way that a lot of hardcore Final Fantasy fans actually want them to go. So it's actually turning off a lot of the traditional Final Fantasy fans. You might be incorporating some of the newer fans, sure. You might be gaining some more modern fans, as you guys like to say, but you're not really you're just giving up the people that actually spend a lot of money on your particular product. So it's quite unfortunate for Square Enix. Like I said, I love the company, I really do, but they've made bad decision after bad decision, and now it's starting to truly affect them to the point where, I mean, $90 million in profit. There's just no way, dude. There is no way. This company, if they don't do something soon, I'll put it to you like this. If they don't do something soon and change ship, they are going to go the way of the dodo bird. Absolutely. It will not surprise me within the next year or two if you see bad news coming out from Square Enix, supposedly, either filing bankruptcy, closing down, looking to be bought by someone, whatever. I honestly would not be shocked if that happens. So anyway, guys, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you did enjoy it. And if you did, consider leaving me a subscribe. I would greatly appreciate it. Don't forget to like the video, comment, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Hypnotic out.